Okay, let's go.
This isn't just another podcast episode. This is Morph Camp. And if you're hearing this, you're not just a listener, you're part of a mental elite. Today on the Morph Pod, we're diving headfirst into temporal discounting, this sneaky brain glitch that makes us trade long-term power for short-term pleasure. Ever wonder why you know what's best, but still scroll, snack, or stall? This is the science behind it. We're cracking open the psychology that runs your daily decisions and flipping the script. This is exclusive territory. No fluff, no filler, just the keys to unlocking why you delay and how to dominate it. Welcome to the inner circle. Welcome to Morph Camp. Let's begin.
Okay, think about this for a second. Every single day, right, you've got these little battles, like that snooze button just screaming your name versus, actually getting up for that run you planned. Or you find yourself endlessly scrolling on your phone instead of, tackling that big project, the one you know is important. Maybe it's spending money on something quick, something fun right now, instead of putting it towards, your future goals. What if I told you there's this kind of invisible force behind all that, something pushing you towards the instant hit? We're talking about a really deep instinct here. It often makes us, trade away really significant future gains for just immediate, fleeting pleasure. So today we're doing a deep dive into something called temporal discounting. We want to figure out exactly why we undervalue our future so consistently, and maybe more importantly, how we can actually start to fight back.
Yeah, and what's so interesting is that temporal discounting is exactly that. It's this tendency we all have to devalue rewards the further off they seem. Like our brains would genuinely rather have, say, $100 right now than $150 in just a week.
Even though the $150 is clearly more.
Exactly. The logic says, wait, but the feeling, the core reason is the certainty and the immediacy of now. It's just so much more emotionally powerful, than thinking about some future reward. And this isn't just some little quirk. It's a pretty profound neurological bias. You've got your emotional limbic system often just overriding the logical planning part of prefrontal cortex. And that leads us to choose, the junk food over long-term health, or putting off saving because retirement feels ages away.
That idea of the certainty of the present really hits home. But okay, if it messes up our long-term plans so much, why? Why did we even evolve this way? It feels so counterintuitive now.
Well, you have to zoom out a bit. Think back, thousands and thousands of years for our ancestors, right? They were dealing with famine, predators, constant danger. Immediate gratification wasn't a luxury, it was a survival trait, literally.
Okay, so grab the food now before it's gone.
Exactly. Eat now, rest now while it's safe. Take what's certain because, frankly, the future might not even happen for you. The problem is that same ancient wiring in our modern world, it can really betray us. We're not just hunting and gathering anymore. We build things, we invest, we scale businesses, we plan decades out. But that primal instinct is still in there yelling, now, get it now.
Okay, so it's deep-seated evolutionary stuff. But what's happening right now in our brains when we make those snap decisions? Is there actual, brain science behind this now bias?
Oh, absolutely. There's some fascinating stuff from fMRI studies, functional MRI scans. They consistently show that when you think about an immediate reward, it literally lights up the brain's feel-good now centers. We're talking regions like the ventral striatum, the medial prefrontal cortex. These are the parts screaming for that dopamine hit, basically.
That's pleasure zones.
Right. But delayed rewards, they activate a totally different area. The dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, that's the part responsible for planning, restraint, reason, the grown-up part of the brain.
Yeah.
And it highlights something critical. The more emotionally charged you feel about that immediate reward, the less rational your decision-making becomes. Your brain is basically wired to prioritize, say, the immediate scoop of ice cream over your long-term investment goals, or, drama over discipline.
And it gets even weirder, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's not just that future stuff is worth less. It's like the value drops off a cliff the closer you get to now. What's this hyperbolic discounting thing?
Yeah, hyperbolic is the key word there. It really does warp our judgment, often in a non-linear way. It means the closer an immediate reward gets, the more its perceived value just skyrockets compared to a future one. Think about this example. It's pretty powerful. If I offered you $50 right now, or $100 in a year, a lot of people will just take the $50.
Yeah, I see that. $50 now feels pretty good.
Right. But now, same time gap, different scenario, $100 in 10 years or $110 in 11 years. Almost everyone will wait the extra year for the extra $10.
Huh. But it is the same 1-year difference.
Exactly the same time gap. But just introducing the word now in that first offer fundamentally changes how we judge it. It makes that immediate, smaller reward feel disproportionately appealing. It's truly fascinating how our brains handle time.
Okay, so we're basically wired to sabotage our future selves. If we're constantly fighting this, what kind of actual real-world damage are we talking about?
Yeah.
Where does this silent saboteur really hurt us? Hurt you, the listener?
Oh, the costs are huge.
Yeah.
They really ripple out across almost every part of your life. Take your career or business, for instance. It shows up as constantly chasing hacks and shortcuts. Instead of doing the consistent, maybe boring foundational work, you overestimate what you can jam into one day, but you massively underestimate what you could achieve with like a year of steady, focused effort. Think about that big project that just never seems to get off the ground because the initial grind just feels too hard today.
That chasing hacks thing is so true. I think we've all been there looking for the quick fix instead of just putting in the time.
Exactly. And then there's health. It's trading the workout for the sofa, right? Healthy food for fast food. Sacrificing sleep for just one more scroll, that late night dopamine hit. You're basically slowly chipping away at the very thing you need to function well. When it comes to wealth, well, it's pretty obvious. Spending instead of investing. Choosing the immediate fun purchase over long-term financial security, you're letting compound interest work against you with debt instead of for you with investments. It's all those missed opportunities adding up.
And I can totally see how this leaks into relationships too, right? Like avoiding a difficult conversation because it feels uncomfortable now.
Oh, definitely. In relationships, it might look like wanting that deep connection, but not putting in the consistent communication effort, or wanting loyalty without really showing up consistently for the other person, wanting passion without being truly present. It's all those little choices to avoid discomfort today that can slowly erode trust and intimacy over time. And in the end result, across all these areas, it often leads to significant life regret. Procrastination stops being something you do and starts becoming part of your identity. You look back and realize, man, I always knew what I should have done, but you just couldn't resist delaying the gratification.
Wow, that's a pretty stark picture of the damage. It's kind of confronting, actually. So if this is so widespread, so damaging, why don't more people escape it? Why do most people seem stuck in this trap? What are the common mistakes?
Well, one of the biggest traps is blaming motivation, or rather, a lack of it. People think, oh, I just need more motivation. But motivation, it comes and goes, right? It's fickle. It's a fair weather friend. If you rely only on motivation, you're basically setting yourself up to constantly start over.
That's such a key point. Motivation fades. So it's not about finding more motivation. It's about realizing it's not a reliable foundation. What do we build on instead then?
Precisely. You need systems. You need discipline, not just these temporary bursts of feeling motivated. Another big pitfall is honestly underestimating the enemy. Temporal discounting isn't just a bad habit you can break with willpower alone. It's a deeply wired cognitive bias. It's how your brain naturally works. You have to respect that.
So don't treat it lightly.
Exactly. And crucially, most people just don't track the real cost. It's like death by 1,000 cuts,
Yeah.
A donut here, skipping a workout there, another weekend kind of wasted scrolling. There's rarely one big catastrophic event that forces a change. It just adds up slowly. And finally, people often chase intensity over consistency. They'll try to do like 5 hours of deep work once a month instead of 30 minutes every single day. That just leads to burnout, feeling overwhelmed, and then blaming yourself when you inevitably crash.
Okay, right. We've named the enemy. We've seen the damage it causes everywhere. We know why people get stuck.
Yeah.
So the million-dollar question. How do we actually fight back? How do we push back against this deep wiring and start building the future we actually say we want? How do we build our future selves revenge?
Okay, yeah, let's get practical. This is where the counter strategy comes in. One really powerful tactic is to shrink the delay, or you could call it time compression. Basically, you reframe long-term rewards into more immediate wins. So instead of thinking, I'm saving for retirement, which feels impossibly far away, think, I'm building daily freedom right now with this choice.
Ah, I like that. Daily freedom.
Or instead of, I need to lose 30 pounds, which is daunting, tell yourself, if I make this healthy choice, I will not feel like crap tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
You're tying the action to your identity today, not some abstract fantasy self in the distant future.
That's clever. It makes the reward feel much closer, much more relevant to now. It's not a sacrifice for later. It's a win for today.
Exactly right. Okay, next strategy. Increase the value of the long term. You need to make your future self and your future goals vivid. Make them emotional, not just abstract ideas.
How did you do that?
Well, you could literally write a letter from your successful future self back to you now, detailing how good life is and how you got there. Or visualize your ideal future life in really painful detail. Don't just picture the fancy car. Picture the smell of the leather seats, the feeling of success, maybe the quiet satisfaction in your home office. Use future-based affirmations too, like, I invest today because I refuse to be financially weak tomorrow. Make it emotional.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
You're basically trying to make the future feel as real and compelling as the present temptation.
You got it. Make it tangible. Another really effective method, maybe a bit more forceful, is using pre-commitment devices. Basically, you lock the gate on your future self.
Lock the gate. What does that mean?
It means you set things up now so that your future self can't easily back out of the desired behavior. You use traps, you burn bridges to bad habits, you make failure costly. So examples would be commitment contracts. There are apps like Stick where you literally put money on the line. If you don't hit your goal, say exercising 3 times a week, you lose the money, maybe even to a cause you hate.
Whoa, okay. That raises the stakes.
It really does. Or you could just make a bet with friends. Simpler still. Automate things. Set up automatic transfers to your savings or investment accounts the day you get paid. That way, the money's gone before you even have a chance to spend it. You remove your impulsive present self from the equation.
Ah, so you're basically outsmarting your future weak moments by taking the decision away now. That's actually brilliant.
It's all about designing your environment and your systems to make the right choice the easy or even the only choice. Okay, next. Track identity-based wins, not just results. This one's subtle, be important. You reward yourself, or at least acknowledge the win, for sticking to the process, not just for hitting the big outcome. So the win isn't, I finished writing my book. The win is, I wrote for 30 minutes today.
Focusing on the habit itself.
Exactly. The win isn't, I reached $100,000 in savings. It's, I invested my planned amount this week. People stay consistent when the identity associated with the habit becomes the reward. You start seeing yourself as someone who is a writer or someone who is an investor because you do the actions consistently.
I really like that shift. It's less about the huge, maybe intimidating end goal, and more about becoming the kind of person who naturally does the things that lead there.
Precisely. It reinforces the behavior itself. Okay, another one. Gamify the process. Basically inject some fun, maybe some urgency into discipline. Make it less of a slog.
How would you do that? Like turn saving into a game?
Sort of. Use habit trackers. Seeing that streak build up can be really motivating. Set up little reward systems for hitting milestones in your process. Or try temptation bundling. Pair a task you dislike with something you enjoy. Listen to your absolute favorite podcast only while you're doing chores or working out. Or enjoy your best cup of coffee only while you're clearing out your email inbox.
That's a smart trick for the brain. Pairing the pain with some pleasure to make it more bearable.
It works surprisingly well. And finally, maybe the most profound one. Embrace the pain of discipline over the pain of regret. You have to constantly remind yourself every easy choice, every time you pick comfort now, it's like taking out a mortgage on your future happiness and success. You got to ask yourself the hard questions. Okay, would I rather suffer a little bit now doing this hard thing or suffer a lot later with regret? Or ask, is my comfort right now actually killing the life I promised myself I would build? Okay, try to reframe that initial discomfort, the feeling of resistance, not as a warning sign to stop, but as a compass pointing you towards growth, towards your true north.
Wow, okay. Every easy choice is a mortgage on your future. That really lands. Yeah. So at the end of the day, every single choice you make, however small, it's like a vote for the person you're becoming. And this temporal discounting thing is like this invisible hand constantly trying to steal your destiny, pushing you towards the easy vote. It's clearly a constant battle, but maybe the key is knowing the enemy and, like you said, having these strategies ready.
Absolutely. Your future is essentially for sale every single day. The question is, how cheap are you selling it? You know, the average mind just asks, what feels good right now? That's the default setting. But the elite mind, The mind that builds an amazing life, an amazing business, asks the different question. It asks, what choice builds me into someone I won't even recognize in 5 years?
Success really isn't about some magic bullet, is it? It's not just talent. It's definitely not luck. It sounds like it's about winning that inner war, that daily battle against your lower instincts again and again, day in, day out. So you've now seen the enemy. You've got this arsenal of tactics. The question to leave you with is this. What's one tiny, immediate win? Just one thing you can commit to doing today that casts a vote for the person you truly want to be?